Bachelor number 3, I'm counting on you. What are girls for?
Netflix's Woman of the Hour tells the bizarre true story of a woman who appeared on the game show The Dating Game with a man who is actually a serial killer. Here's our explanation of the film in 3 minutes or less. Be warned, major spoilers follow. Although the film is set in 1978, it features events in different time periods. The film begins in Wyoming in 1977, where a photographer named Rodney Alcala is taking modeling pictures of a young woman when he suddenly kills her. He then revives her only to attack her once again. In a flashback to 1971 New York City, a stewardess moving into her apartment is murdered by Rodney, establishing that he has been doing this for some time. The film moves to Hollywood 1978 to Cheryl Bradshaw, played by Anna Kendrick, who also directed the film. Cheryl is an aspiring actress, but desperate for work, so she appears as a contestant on The Dating Game. When Cheryl appears on The Dating Game, Bachelor number 3 is Rodney Alcala. He is an employee at the Los Angeles Times and often uses photography to lure in his victims. When Rodney begins answering questions, one of the audience members named Laura recognizes him as the man she saw with her friend before she was murdered at a party years before. She tries to warn both producers of the show and the police of her suspicions, but no one listens. Back on The Dating Game, Cheryl begins to aggressively question the bachelors, and Rodney provides the best answers. Cheryl picks Rodney, but Bachelor number 2 warns her that something is wrong with him. Rodney asks Cheryl to dinner after the show. When he begins to act strange, Cheryl ends the date. As they walk back to her car, Rodney nearly attacks her, but with people around, he backs off. Cheryl never went on the planned getaway they won on the show. She later leaves Hollywood and acting altogether. A year later, in 1979, Rodney takes a teenage runaway named Amy out to the desert with the promise of a photo shoot. Rodney assaults her, and she begs him not to tell anyone. This convinces him not to kill her, and on the way back to the city, she jumps out of his car and calls police, who arrest him. In the film's epilogue, it is revealed that Rodney Alcala was released on bail, and he later killed another woman and little girl. He was rearrested, and police discovered he was a serial killer. He was convicted in the murders of 7 women and young girls, but authorities think he may have killed as many as 130. He died in prison in 2021, and that's our recap of Woman of the Hour, now streaming on Netflix. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and thanks for watching.